In my last episode, Shirley, I talked about this pig, and I didn't know the name of the pig. What is that pig's name?
His name was
The one who followed you to school.
Bobo.
Bobo. That was the pig's name.
Yeah.
Oh, so how long did you have Bobo? How long did we have that pig?
I was quite small back then, so I don't know how long we had him. But I just remember having him, you know. And
Yeah.
I was small then.
Figured like a year?
Oh no, we had him a long, long time.
Oh, like 2 years, 3 years maybe?
Yeah, from a pig till he was a big Bobo.
Oh,
Yeah, he was
Big
kind of
Bobo, okay.
when he
that's
was a
good.
pig, yeah.
And I recall that's the one who followed you to school?
Followed us to school, yes he did. We tried to keep that pig away. Go back home, Bobo. Go back home, Bobo. We go to school, and the teacher came to one day and says, you gotta take your hog back home. He was outside trying to get into the school.
Trying to get into the school?
Yeah, trying to come in. So
That is funny.
Curly went and took him back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he did that a few times though, didn't he?
He used to follow us all the time. I don't remember him being
Right,
in school.
but at least that
he
one
may
time.
have, but I just remember that one time when he was there. But
Yeah. So okay, so you had him about 2 to 3 years. Whatever happened to Bobo?
you remember how poor we were.
Yep. Abject
Papa
poverty.
finally had to kill him,
Oh.
and we ate him up.
I'm sorry.
We didn't like that, you know.
I know, I'm
And-
sorry. I don't mean to laugh.
But then again, we were hungry as well,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
we knew.
Yes, he really was food. He
Yeah,
really
we'd
wasn't
get
a
some
pet.
food. Yeah, I guess maybe that was what he raised them for. He didn't intend for us to get all attached to him, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it seemed like he purposely let the pig live longer for you guys.
Could be.
Because you liked the
Could
pig.
be.
And was,
Yeah, could
So
be.
he probably felt bad putting it to death too.
Yeah, but
But
he,
like you said, if you're
yeah.
hungry.
Oh. But he had a sister. Her name was Sow Sow.
The
Well, she
pig
was a seahorse. I mean, she pig.
was a sow.
Yeah,
Sow
she
Sow.
was a sow.
Oh.
And another one, like I was telling you before about Bobo, he's a boar.
Okay.
He and the sheep.
Yeah, those names fit.
Yeah, but Sow Sow, she was just a regular pig. I mean, she was nice and friendly, but she didn't care that much about us.
But Bobo?
Bobo thought we was his.
Shirley, I have to ask you this question. I know that we were very, very poor.
Oh, yes. Yes. We used to have gravy for breakfast before we go to school. Hardly ever had lunch. If ever, Mom made us lunch. I can't remember.
Yeah.
You would just have gravy by itself, just gravy?
Yeah, Mom used to put, you know, the oil in the pan, and then you mix it with flour and let you made the gravy, right?
Yeah, I've seen
Just
her
like
do
you
that.
make gravy
I've seen
now,
her do that.
yeah.
Mhm.
But that would be a meal for us.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we'd have pinto beans.
Yeah.
But as far as having meat and a regular meal,
Mhm.
that was out of the question.
What about cornflakes and things like that?
No. We didn't have any cereal.
Mhm.
I can't remember ever having cereal.
Shirley, did we have a kitchen?
Yeah, we had a kitchen.
It was up some stairs.
A couple of stairs, yeah. Then there was a living room and a kitchen up a couple of stairs and 2 bedrooms upstairs.
Divided by those logs.
Yeah, the boys was slept in one room and the girls slept in the other room.
Mhm.
And Mom and Papa, they slept downstairs in the living room.
Yeah, okay, so good. I remember, a lot of these things, but, we left there when I was 7.
Oh,
So a lot I'm
yeah.
seeing between 6 years old, 5 years old, things like that. But you're 8 years older than me.
Yeah.
So
I was 16 when we came here.
now, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
How did we get up here?
We came in Uncle Bill's car. Uncle Bill picked us up.
When you say we, who do you
All
mean we?
of us.
Who was in the car?
Me, Spooky, and Beverly was in the front. Mom, Papa, you, who else was there?
Donald and Bill.
Don and Bill, that's it.
Uh-huh.
So I think it was 4 of us in the front and 4 or 5 in the back.
So we were kind of like piled up on top of each other.
Yeah, we got here, but no boy to get away and go somewhere decent out of the woods, and we were just dirt poor people. And
Yeah.
Mom used to work for $3 a day,
Yeah.
$2 a day, and Papa, he'd work on the farm. You know, they didn't pay that much. So finally, he got a job, and as
Salt mine?
yeah, he got a job. This is mine. That paid a little more. Then he finally got a construction job, and that was paying a little more. But it's still, look at all the kids they had. So
How many were there now in all? I understand there were some that died. A couple of kids
oh
that
yeah,
died.
one boy was born, stillborn,
Okay.
and then there was another little boy named. He died. He just got sick,
Yeah.
and Mom had to work. Carrie Lee was married then, so Carrie Lee took him, you know, to give Mom a break, you know, and she couldn't leave him at home with us because we were younger.
Yeah.
He died. Carrie Lee he stayed with Carrie Lee, and he finally just died.
How old was he?
He was just a baby.
Okay.
He was just maybe months old.
But you seem to have gotten close to that little baby.
Yeah.
You know, you do.
We just loved each other. That was one thing. That's one thing we had going.
The family?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
we
did love
all
each
loved each other. We were crazy
Yeah.
about Mom, crazy about Papa, crazy about each other.
Each other, yeah. So we didn't have to go around telling each other, I love you,
No.
love you, and hugging. And
No,
we
no.
didn't have to do that, did
No,
we? It was just, you know.
We knew it.
alone.
We just felt it, you know.
Yeah, that's
I know when the first time I saw Papa sick, he was here. I went and cried like old fool
Yeah,
because I never
Yeah.
seen him sick.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very painful.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw a lot there then, and you told me about the poverty, and I felt it too.
Yeah.
You know, but probably the older ones even more because you've lived it longer.
Oh yeah, you guys didn't know, you know. Well, we used to have cabbage for dinner, just cabbage, you know.
Cabbage is good. Sometimes, you know, when you think about that, I think that's a good dinner. Today I do.
Yeah, but you have to have something to go along with it, you know.
Me, I'll just have cabbage.
Yeah, when I think about those cabbage grating, sometimes you never can forget is I was bad. I don't know what I did, but I was sent upstairs without, you know, dinner. Said, you're not getting any or something.
You're not getting any cabbage? Okay.
I didn't have any dinner, so Carrie Lee sneaked some food up to me. I remember that.
Yeah.
And that was those cabbage, you know, such as they were, you know, they was filling, you know, so.
Yeah. So we came up here, and what was it like when you got here then? What, did you get culture shock?
No,
I mean, we're coming from the rural sticks, you know.
no, we've always been pretty
Woods.
sharp, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never
Yeah.
been, you know, so we just
Use a
blended
good
in.
common sense.
Mm-hmm, we blended right in, and that was it.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, Uncle Bill had gotten us a place to live. There was 3 bedrooms and a kitchen, and a little tiny living room.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we never lived that well, you know. We thought we was in heaven just after leaving Virginia and coming.
That's right. Yeah. So we came up here, and what was it like for Papa?
He was okay at first, but after a while, he just got bored, and he felt bad because he couldn't help Mom, and Mom, you know, didn't make enough money. And
Why wasn't he working? Why wasn't he working again?
His age.
He was around 64.
Mm-hmm.
And you said...
No, he was 56 when we came here,
Okay. Okay.
but he still couldn't find a job. They said he was too old. And I don't know what happened with Social Security back in then, but I don't know if he got Social Security or what.
So Uncle Bill told him that he had him a job, I understood.
No, he
right?
didn't necessarily tell him he had a job.
Gave him the
He said
impression.
he could sort of assured him he could get a job,
I see.
but because of his age, he couldn't. So it wasn't really Uncle Bill's, you know, fault.
Fault,
if
right.
you will. It was just that no one wanted him at that age.
Do you think he would have come knowing that he wouldn't be able to get...
No, I doubt it very much.
You don't think we would have come up here?
Mm-mm,
if
I
Papa
don't
had
think
known?
so. And you know, Papa and Mom was ready to come, you know, but he was very, very reluctant to come, but we
Is that right?
talked him into it,
Is that right?
And then again, he looked at how we were living,
Yeah.
and he promised him a better life, so.
And you know where Mom was coming from?
Mm.
Teeny was up here.
Oh, yeah.
Mom wanted to
true.
go where Teeny was, and Uncle Bill didn't want to bring her back.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that, too.
So Mom says, okay, we're going. We're going.
Yeah, she came.
New York, here we come.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Teeny's there, my child. And I think Uncle Bill took her, how old was Teeny when Uncle Bill took her?
About
Three?
2 or 3 years old. She
And
was real tiny.
Yeah, and I understood she had lots of curls.
She's so pretty.
And they just grabbed her and didn't want to give her back.
Right. Yes, she was.
So,
Really pretty.
but that's interesting about our story coming up here then, Shirley, because, Papa would have stayed. That's not something I never knew.
Really?
That he might have, stayed if Mom hadn't pushed it. And the
Oh.
reason why he might have stayed was because he wasn't sure about being able to make a living here.
Right.
And that makes sense.
And it's so it happened that way. He just
Mhm.
couldn't find a job, at his age.
So you know what happened?
Mm-hmm.
He ended up being the stay-at-home stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
And so he was taking care of us, and Mom was working 8 to 5.
Yeah.
And boy,
I mean, for that little bit of money she was getting.
Well, yeah,
$3
that too.
a day.
Up here it got a little bit better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when we came here and she started working for Shumway's.
Yeah, I think she was maybe paying her $5 or something, which
Back
then was
then.
a lot.
Back
yeah.
then, we're talking
Mhm.
1950s, right?
But I don't remember exactly.
So, tell me about some of the things that you accomplished. No, because you said something a while ago. And I've been told this about Calloway's before. I've been told this by a dyke. I think it was James Dyke. He died, I think, last year. We were at a family reunion in Newport News, Virginia. Didn't you come? Newport News, Virginia's family reunion, but I thought,
No, I never went
yeah, okay.
to the family reunion. I
But
just
anyway,
went to
one of the dykes said to me, he says the Calloways are smart people. And I've heard that over the years, something about the Calloways. What was school like for you and Dobie and the brothers and sisters?
We were quite smart in school. In fact, I was salutatory
Oh,
in grade school.
okay. So
And the only reason I wasn't, what's the other one? Valedictorian?
yeah, valedictorian.
Didn't have any books, where other people could go home and read and do homework. We never had pencils. We'd have to borrow. Can I use your book to read? And say read a chapter, the teacher would ask.
That's interesting.
And I'd have to ask maybe the person next door, can I read or have your book or read your book?
Wow.
And the same thing when I borrow your pencil. You got a sheet of paper.
Right.
And that's the way we had to go to school.
Yeah.
But we all learned very well.
Uh-huh.
We were all smart in school.
Yeah. What about Dobie?
Oh yeah, he was smart in school.
Uh-huh. So the guy was saying something, the cousin, I think he's a first cousin, who James Dyke, he'd mentioned that. And I just wanted to touch on it because you even, a few minutes ago, said something, well, you know how Calloways are. Certain things that we just understand,
I know.
because of common sense or something like that.
Yeah, we did. They said, you gotta have common sense. That's one thing we had. And Papa taught us that all the time.
I know it.
He was very strict on us. Not, say he was mean or hateful or anything. But he encouraged us to be a certain way and do a certain thing, like good morning, good evening, thank you, all that,
Right.
He taught
Right.
us really well.
And to be on time.
Yeah.
We cannot be late.
I know.
No.
I mean, well, you could count on it. You could count on us.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And I was able to pass it on to the grandkids, because I was with them all the time.
Right,
When
right.
somebody had to pick them up, they were out there on the porch waiting. And those things were
Yeah.
commented on
At the same
in my
thing.
church, at the congregation.
Yeah.
They said, those girls, when you pick those girls up, they're out there waiting.
You're waiting, yeah, you don't do
Some
that.
people have you waiting.
I know this one person
What?
I was giving a ride to work because she lived around near me, that's here in the city.
Mhm.
I had to wait for her every morning. Oh, I was
Yeah.
so upset with that. You know, I'm doing you a favor. Leave me on time.
Right. It's rude.
But
It's
Karen Lee, oh Lord, she was really a stickler about
Yeah.
being on time.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
She would
we
sit by
are.
the window and make sure that she'd watch for you and make sure
That's
that
right.
she'd
Mhm.
run right out when you come.
That's right. Well, we're all like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
And Shirley, I know we'd see her looking out windows. Maybe she was even more so.
I know.
Like you said.
There were certain places Papa didn't want us to go. Not that Mom didn't,
Mhm.
do it as well, but there's a shortcut to school through this way or that way.
Mhm.
He didn't want us to go that way. He said those people aren't good.
Oh.
Then we had to walk all the way around
Oh,
to go
well,
to school.
those people, yeah,
Yeah, certain people
Yeah.
he didn't think were, he didn't want us to
mind their own business and stuff.
to be involved with. He
Yeah.
just didn't want us around those people. I guess he knew something we didn't know, so.
Well, yeah, because he was an adult and he'd lived there and they had their,
I'll
right?
go this way. And we sneaked that way sometimes.
Just to see.
No, it was a long way around. You cut a lot of, but we had quite a
What
bit
was
of
over
distance
there?
to school. When we
What-
went to school, but there was a lady who lived here, and he didn't like her or her husband, or they didn't, see
Okay.
eye to eye.
Okay.
And on the other side, there was this another lady that lived there, and he didn't think her, kids were, good for us or whatever.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
we couldn't go that way. So
Uh-huh.
we sneaked that way a lot, 'cause he'd be working.
Right. Do you think? One thing, but hold that thought about things that route that you had to go. There's some things that Pop taught us when you're just going back a little bit, just to revisit a little bit what you were saying about Papa, instill certain values in us that we just live by. And here's an example of how deep it is. And and tell me, don't you agree with this? Say, for instance, if somebody is standing counting, going in their purse, or you could see their purse, would a Calloway look that way?
No, they look away.
All of us would look away.
Look away.
But do you know that some people will stand there and look?
I know what you got.
Well, just being nosy.
Yeah.
Or just,
being nosy.
I encounter that a lot with a certain individual right now. One of the kids, and I got to teach them, don't do that. Because that's a value.
That's
If
true.
I have my purse open here, don't stand over me looking. You know what I mean? But these things have to be taught.
Yes, true.
And that's what Papa taught us.
And
And we all like that.
And I remember very well, when people came, business company came, we had to go. We had to go. When we see somebody coming, come on, let's go. You could not sit around grown people. No way you could sit
No, we
around
couldn't.
grown people and they're talking and going on.
No.
So we all know. We just go out and play
Naturally,
somewhere.
just go on. Didn't have to say leave.
No, didn't have to. We know.
Just
When the
leave.
company comes, we leave. And this was one woman used to come and she used to sit around all the time. We'd be waiting for that woman to leave.
Because you wanted to go back and
We'd peep and see if she's still there. Oh, she's still there,
I can imagine. Do we have a lot of visitors?
They was visiting Mom. No. Mom had a lot of visitors. Like, I know how you know Belle Gray, but she had a lot of visitors. This lady probably would go to the store and she stopped back by Mom.
Really?
With Mom.
So it almost sounds like we're in rural, but in a little rural area in the sticks, in the woods. Or were we
Yeah.
farther back than most?
Yeah, they was what you call
'Cause
Goo. You know where Goo, where Aunt Sally and them live over there across the railroad track in that area.
Well, I remember the railroad tracks. I remember we were told to stay off those railroad tracks all the
There
time.
used to be a little store.
And we'd end up going back on the railroad tracks.
It was a sort of a cluster of people in that area.
Okay, but we were,
Just off,
that's what I thought. Because I never pictured us in a little community or anything.
We went around people and all.
We weren't around people.
But we made ourselves, comfortable and
Yeah.
did what we had to do.
Yeah, but we were taught good values,
Mhm.
and that's the thing that stands out to me. And one other thing that stands out is how you were the one who always took care of us, even if you had to lock us out sometimes.
And I still do. No, you won't forget that, huh?
I don't forget you used to lock us out until American Bandstand came out. But yeah, but you were the one.
Yeah, when I was a babysitter, I babysat everybody, all the way up to Ludi. Everybody. When I was 10 years old, I was cooking food. I was getting dinner. I'd come home from school. Sometimes I had to go and drag wood to the woods. We had a wood stove back then. I'd have to go to the woods. But I remember this one time I had this great headache. Me and Don went to the woods and got some wood. I had to come back home and cook and
Cook what?
whatever I used to make a lot of bread.
Okay.
I could make some good bread, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah, tell me about that. Oh, you're going to have to make me some of that bread.
Yeah, we used to have bread.
But yeah, so you go down and get
bread
the...
to go with the gravy, you know.
Oh, yeah, nice. You know, that's a
Yeah.
good dish. That's a good staple dish.
Yeah. So I come home and cook and make bread, and we either have bread and butter, you know, whatever.
Butter, that sounds
But
good.
since I was 10 years old, I was taking care of you guys, you and Teeny, and you know the rest of them. Because Carrie was gone in Spooky, she loved to go out because she was of age then.
Oh, and Spooky liked to go out and have fun.
Yeah.
She seems like the type to just
So
go out and
I
have
was
fun.
and Carrie was married.
So you were the...
I was the oldest girl left, so.
So you had all the responsibilities
Yes,
then.
I did.
But you are still kind of like that, though. You never changed.
You
You still treat me and Tina like we're kids.
I can't help it. I can't help it. It's just that I feel like, you know, I'm the boss. I don't do it purposely, but it just comes out that way.
But another thing, too, though, how did Papa raise us?
That's true. That's
One
true.
had to do what?
Yeah.
Whoever was the older one.
That had to do
The young
everything.
one
Was
had
the
to-
boss, too.
Yeah, the older one was the boss.
Don't you dare talk back to me. If I tell, oh my goodness.
No, the younger
Oh, I
one.
get a switch.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, I made you guys do right, you know.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is, but mainly how Papa made us respect the older child. Whoever's older than us.
Oh, yeah.
To show them that respect.
No, we couldn't talk back to Johnny. No,
No,
way, Carol
right.
Lee.
You couldn't even talk back to John N. Now that's your older brother.
Not even Carol Lee. No,
Right,
she was
Carol
older.
Lee, right, the older. And
even
that
to
stood
this day,
out.
I never talked back to Carol Lee.
That's remarkable that we're like that. That
Yeah.
we're still like that.
Mm-hmm.
The older one gets the respect because that's the elder.
That's the way we talk, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Because right now, you and Teeny always respect me.
I apologize for this.
That's okay.
But yeah, we do respect you very much, Shirley. But that mother, everybody knows that about you now, that you're the motherly
Yeah.
type.
I'm the oldest still. That's
Yeah.
the way we were raised. So I respect the older. Even like I said, when we go to school, we pass this old man. There was the one man who used to sit on the side of the street. We thought he was ugly. And we'd be afraid to go past him.
He was that ugly, you're afraid? Why?
I don't know, because he sit down on the side of the street, and everyone so Lord, I hope he called him, his name was Yankee. I hope he is there. And we looked at him, oh boy, we were so, but you had to say good morning, Yankee, good morning.
But you did say good morning.
Mm-hmm, and good afternoon. They'd tell if you didn't speak to them.
They would tell
Yeah,
on
they
you.
would. Darling, I saw your daughter the other day. She didn't say hello. I said, oh Lord.
You would
No,
do
you
that?
had to speak.
Yeah.
Or they'd tell on you.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of people were like that back then.
Really?
Yeah, even though we didn't mingle with most people, they respected us and they wanted us to respect them. But
Right.
I often wish I still lived there if I had,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, if you had a situation there where you weren't, you had to resettle and it wasn't such a big deal.
But I loved it there, and even get a little teary-eyed when I see these people on the farm and in the country and beautiful trees, and I remember how we used to be there.
Yeah.
And wish I was back there, you know.
Shirley, I'm definitely drawn to movies like that too.
Me too.
If I find a movie with those woods-like looking and the dirt roads, I'm drawn to those
I like
quite
that.
a lot.
You can imagine living, without people all around, people in your business, and
That's right.
but
The nature around you,
right,
away
we
from
did it,
things.
and we
It's nice
found
life.
something every day to do. I
Yeah.
don't know, it's something we'd get together and do.
Yeah.
We'd go sometime down to the creek. You probably heard of that. And we'd go swimming. Not that we could swim, but you know.
He goes swimming, he still says
but
swimming.
we go get in the water. Sometimes it was shallow enough to just walk in the water, and that. And we used to go in the woods, and we found this old. I remember we found this old log, and it was kind of slippery, and it was a long log, and we could slide down it.
Really?
And then we'd go on a hill called a mud hill. And slide down the hill.
Ooh,
And we
that
made
sounds
our
like
own
fun.
Yeah, we did. And we stuck together. Yes,
Now,
we
who
did.
did you play with? Because I was with Donald, and Bill. Those three. We were just really just the threesome, the Three Stooges.
We all played together. We didn't really separate.
Well,
Whatever we did, we usually did it together.
Did you ever do anything like that? Because it seems like Carolee was always married, and
No, she
He was, like you said, very outgoing and gone a lot.
Yeah.
So were you guys ever able to get together? The three of you?
Oh,
Excuse
no,
my
we
voice.
don't.
I've got
We walked to Carolee. We wouldn't, give up on him. Well, Spooky, we didn't know where she was, but we knew where Carrie lived. It was about 3 miles away. It took about an hour, maybe over.
I thought it was far because we used to walk over there, me and Don and Bill,
Yeah.
to get cornflakes.
But we always kept touch. We'd go see Carolee.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. If she wasn't home or, living there with us.
Yeah.
We made sure at least once a week we could take that long walk to see
Yeah.
Carolee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she'd bring us back home because she had a little car.
Oh, really? They had a car.
Yeah.
Well, Shirley, I really, really appreciate just these little tidbits of information that you just make more clear,
Oh, yeah.
about our background.
Anything I know, of course, when I left there, I was only 15, which wasn't old back then,
No, it wasn't.
or 16. And, but up until then, most of the things I know about, I remember.
And like I was saying too, we had bad times there, but there's something about it that we just loved.
Yeah, but
And that was our
we
environment.
had each other.
Yeah, we had
And
each other.
We didn't need anybody else,
Yeah, and we have what did we have around us though?
Yeah,
What that we enjoyed so
Mom
much.
and Papa used to play with us. I remember he used to put us on his knee, and we would do that, and he'd play a little game with us called Rempty Trimpty.
I remember that something like that.
But he paid attention to us.
Yeah.
He stayed there and he played. We used to race up to what we call the little post.
Okay.
Yeah, we rode. Mom would race, Papa would race right along with us.
Yeah.
So they found, even though we didn't have any toys or anything, they tried to do things to keep us
Yeah.
as kids, if you
Yeah.
will. Yeah.
Yeah. You remember some good times there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which outweighs the bad or the good?
The bad, no, the good.
The bad.
Now, I was thinking the bad wasn't that bad. The only bad part really is going to school, walking in a cold, your hands would be freezing, time to get to school.
No buses.
No bus.
Who
no
got buses?
gloves,
Somebody got buses.
We didn't
Somebody
have,
got a school bus. But we
after
didn't.
finally we got a school bus about a year after we left there. Before we left there.
But others already had school buses.
Yeah.
So we
But they
were
didn't
kinda-
need the bus, because I'm the little clique I've been telling you about, the people who live close. The school was close to them.
So what I'm saying is they did have school buses,
If
but
they
not
did-
for us.
Yeah, only for people who people who had a little bit more money than we.
That's
did.
what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So there again is that poverty level that we were in
Yeah, and then again they look at the distance.
No
as
buses.
well. Yeah.
for us.
No buses. I remember going to school. My hand was freezing. I was crying, and I went to this man in the store and then he put my hands in cold water. I'm thinking, why is he putting my hands in cold water? But they said you shouldn't put your hands in hot water if they're real, real cold.
I've heard that.
Yeah, so I never forget going to school, freezing to death.
Did it feel better?
Oh yeah, they felt better after that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the man, who was the man?
His name was Mr. Bus.
Was he a white man, black
Yeah,
man?
he was a white store owner.
Oh, so
He
he
was a
came to
real
your
nice-
rescue.
Oh yeah, he was something. You know, there's a lot of nice people, Ray. You wouldn't believe it.
White, you mean? Different-
Yeah.
Okay.
Papa's
Right.
best friend was white. They used to go hunting together, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So anyway, my hands. But I never forget how I used to be so cold going to school.
Wow.
So cold, feet cold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Mom had any money to buy, good shoes or
Oh,
socks
no.
or gloves.
No.
All those necessities we didn't have.
No, we didn't. No.
So
Yeah.
that's why, you appreciate what you have nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
Which is not much, but, when you look back on how you were, how you came up,
That's right.
it's
Yeah.
something to be, grateful for.
That's right. That's very true. Because that
Mhm.
Great Migration, when we came up here, that was a period called the Great Migration. I think it began in 1910.
It was 58 when we left.
Yeah, 1957. It started in 1957
Mhm.
through 1974.
Mhm.
That Great Migration.
Really?
Blacks moving from the south
Oh,
to the north for a better
yeah.
life. So we were in that area there.
Yeah, but
Around
one thing
that
about the
time
people
period.
down south, white or black, they're honest. If they'll let you know how they feel. They're not going to pretend like they like you and they don't.
Oh, yeah.
But people
Mhm.
here now, they'll pretend that everything's fine. Oh, I lived with black people one time and all that kind of stuff. Be lying. Instead of just being truthful. Now, up here, they let you know. They don't bother with you. They don't be bothered with you. They will not, But people there, they would let you know. But
You'll know who
friendly
not to
people.
go around.
Right.
Their prejudice or whatever, or they feel like this. Like Pop was telling you, don't go that road.
Yeah.
Go to the other one.
But even Papa, everybody had respect for Papa up here. Everybody who knew him, they had a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of respect for Papa.
Yeah, he had good integrity.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
did indeed.
Yeah.
Always tipped
Good
his hat.
character.
When somebody come meet a lady, he always tipped his hat.
Yeah.
Don't go and sit up at the table eating with your hat on.
Right.
You go into someone's home, you take your hat off.
And don't walk around the house with no shirt on.
Yeah,
No shirt thing.
a lot of decent rules that made sense.
Yeah.
And now I can notice it.
Yeah.
If I see someone sitting with a hat on, ooh.
I know, you do.
Yeah,
You
it
say
wouldn't
no.
be that.
If you really were looking, you could see that.
I know,
it's
just
not
those
mess-
little things that, were very important back then. Now they've thrown them, to the wolves, if you will.
Yeah.
They don't care anymore. But, we had a poor life, but a good life. Let's put it that way.
And, I like to end it on that note there too,
Mhm.
because it wasn't, and I feel the same way. It was a poor life, but I can't complain. I mean, I don't
know.
want to change it.
All right, because we
Yeah.
had everything else to take the place of what
That's
we didn't have.
Maybe even the more important things we had.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And the most important thing was we loved each other, we were close, and we were always together.
Mm-hmm.
As we got older, then we, of course we didn't.
Yeah, you notice how we're also not money hungry.
I know, who cares about
None
money?
of us, money, we're
We
not.
never had it, so
That kind of prepped us for like our
Yeah.
attitudes too. Like
Mhm.
every one of us are very generous like that.
Oh yeah.
Sisters and brothers, you, me,
Especially
Dobie.
with each other.
I'm talking
yeah.
about what I'm talking about with each other,
Mhm.
especially. I'm talking about with each other,
Yeah, right now.
and others too. But our attitude about money extends to others too. We're not money hungry people.
No, we don't care as long as we got what we need.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that matters.
So maybe our life prepped us for that too. Then
That's
you
it.
know, to be content with what we have, and we don't have to have everything.
And don't
you know.
wish for anything that you don't need.
Right. That's true. Okay, so we'll end there for today. How about that?